Hello again, this is UML Operator. All right, in this session, we're going to be going through the new Sparx version 17 tabs. All right, so starting with the Start tab, that's a good place to start, right? So one of the things that I didn't talk about in the last session was the all windows and the power of the all windows. If you go to Design, let's just select New Package. Make sure you're on the package you want to be on. So New Package, and you get this dialog box that all looks the same, right? You could certainly select where you want the package to be deployed and then hit OK, right? We're just going to call it package 1. I'm just going to go with that. Create a new diagram. And then when you get to the new diagram, you have a new window, new look and feel. And I should have covered this in the last video, but we're going to cover it here. Here, instead of an OK button, once you select what you want, you simply hit Create Diagram. And there's the Help button here instead of down at the bottom. And you can change the diagram name. You can change where you want the diagram to be located. And we're going to go Structural, Class, and we're going to go into the package where we launch this Create Diagram, and it's as simple as that. Okay, so now let's go through the tabs. We're on the Design tab right now, and what changed there, as I stated earlier, Explore Group or Panel is no longer there. It is only on the Start tab, right, which is not a problem for me. As far as the Package Group, these three icons are still there. We will go through these individually if anything changed. They added a timeline feature, which I will do a video on separately. This looks pretty cool. We played around with it this weekend. Your matrices are here, your gap analysis, transform. All of these tooling items are still the same. You have your toolbox, which was next. You have in your diagram group, add diagram, manage, views, and options. They're all the same. And again, we'll go through to see whether they operate the same. Over in the element group, nothing changed there. Add element, manage, properties. You have your features, matrices right here for the elements, and you have your trace, all right? Now, I turned trace on using the Start to get to trace. But either way, any tooling that's missing in the all windows can be found within the ribbons under the tabs that are relevant to that tooling. To continue, behavior, simulation, discussions, all the same as before, as well as, most importantly to me, the dictionary panel or group. So we've got glossary and we've got spelling. So, and I'm a creative speller, so I count on this panel quite often. Next is the Layout tab. And again, with the exception of Explore Group, which is no longer there, nothing really changed across your tooling in your ribbon for the Layout tab. Next is the Develop tab. And again, Explorer is not here as a group. Database Builder, none of this change. Well, Import DDL was not there. We had other ways of getting to this feature, if you will, but this looks like a previous major release. They brought that back into the ribbon. Otherwise, nothing else really changed that we saw as we were going through, because we do a lot of importing source, reverse engineering source code, and those kind of things. It seemed to all work as it did in version 16. Next is the Simulate tab. And there were no changes that we saw within the Simulate tab. It's the same as it was in version 16. Next is the Execute tab. And as I had spoken before, there's an all Windows group that's here where both Execute and Construct was removed out of the all Windows group. If you look at the Execute, you'll see that all Windows group was added into this tab, this ribbon. So now when you select anything in the all Windows group, you get to the tooling instantly as you did before from the Start tab under execute. So we didn't mind that at all. That's fine. Don't really use it. These tools we already have access to, and so that wasn't an issue. Other than that, we didn't notice any changes across the tools group, the Windows group, the source group, or the run group. And the same thing, just as with simulate, the run group still works the same. So we use simulate, execute, and even construct quite a bit, but mostly these two tabs in system and software development. Let us know if you saw any changes between version 16 and 17. We'd like to know. Next is the construct tab. And again, all Windows panel or group was added here, where you got to the same tooling as we used to see for construct in the all Windows area or group here. Other than that, nothing really changed for us as we're going across the tooling that's available in the construct tab between version 17 and version 16. So version 17, no issues that we've seen so far, but that's the limited testing that we've done over the weekend. Next is the specialized tab. When we first hit this, we were very concerned. We were going, oh my goodness, we use this so much, especially for building patterns and doing MDG technologies. But when you take a closer look, they just shuffled some elements around and the groups around. So of course, Explorer's not here, but the whole tool group was switched around where JavaScript and the script library and this other tooling was moved to a group called scripting. And then information exchange was added as a group name where system information, acclimate were added. And what else? Let's check my notes here. ODM was moved over here. And then these were made smaller. So when we first looked at it, we went, oh my goodness, this looks a lot smaller. What did they take out? They really didn't take out anything. They changed the group or panels and they just put in the icons, the tooling in a place that really makes sense. Because when we're doing JavaScripting or we're doing automation, we count on these tools quite a bit. And then when we're doing administration, we count on looking at the resources. We're doing debugging of particular machines we're doing testing on. We use acclimate a lot from a TOGAF perspective. And then we use ODM, not as much, but this kind of threw us into a panic, but wasn't an issue once we kind of got through it. So managed technologies, like I was saying earlier, this all makes much better sense now. So we liked what they did in the specialized tab. Next is the publish tab. And as far as the panels and groups go here, nothing really changed. Again, Explorer was removed. That's not an issue. The reports, model reports remained the same, all the way across HTML, which is important to us because we publish to web servers all the time. Diagram, image, the print and save, all the same. And then model exchange, which is extremely important to us, all was the same. So we didn't notice any changes there either. Next is the settings tab. Not a lot of change. I think our model administrators count on security quite a bit. The functionality seemed to be the same there. When we get into the model group, we have options, auditing, all of that seem to be the same. Of course, most of us use import and export reference data quite a bit. We work between various versions of Spark, so we're able to convert those. So that was important. Settings was the same, UML types, model types, resource and image, all the same. As far as version control, we don't really use this much except for package control. All this be the same. The thing that frustrates me the most when we're going between major versions is the user tools. I tend to like to have set up my own user tools, and I have to redo that. It's certainly not easy. I may have a video out that show you how to do that, but I like having quick access to Explorer, ODBC data sources, as well as system information, right? However, system information is also available right here, right? And I'm not going to select it, but so adding your own user tools so you have quick access to them, development tools that you may be using, quick access to launching your IDE, other things you may want to configure within user tools. All right, so that concludes going through all of the tabs. What I want to talk about next is there's another tab that you don't see until you select it. And I'll talk about graphs later. Nothing seemed to change there, and we wanted things to change, but we'll talk about that later, right? So if you're coming in and you're adding in a document, and I'm just going to leave it this name here, and you open this document, you get to choose from your templates. We have custom templates. Let's just go to solution, bring that template up here, and you get this tab up here called document and then edit. This still needs a lot of work. We were hoping there would be more improvements here, modernize it to align with what takes place when you're editing documents in Microsoft Word or other word processing platforms, but we didn't get it, right? Maybe soon. Things like search and replace. When you're going through and you want to replace text, when you want to insert particular items and more, all right? This is still extremely painful. It's not easy to do unless you're an Office expert. You know how to deal with and manage normal .rtfs to create layouts the way you want. It's not a problem. Maybe I'll create a video on that, but we didn't see improvements there around documentation. All right. All right, we're going to wrap up part 2. In part 3, we're going to talk about the release notes. We're going to go through some of the key items, the things that we liked, the things that were okay, kind of things, and more. All right, so look forward to that. So today we talked about the tabs. We stepped through the tabs and reflect on this particular section for your learning curves on moving from Sparx 16 tabs to Sparx 17 tabs. So a lot of great things took place, we felt, overall, some things that we were hoping for, but thank you very much to Sparx Enterprise Architect, still the best modeling tool in our tool belt. So until the next section, happy modeling.